Hello everyone, my name is Anne Russell, and as you know I'm with the Russell Family Fetal Alcohol Disorders Association. Today I'm going to talk to you about perseveration and FASD, and many people might not know what perseveration is. I'm sure some have heard the name before, but what does it actually mean in terms of your child? Perseveration means that the first choice is the only choice. Sometimes it's just something for kids with FASD to do because they're bored. Sometimes it relates to time-filling activities, and sometimes it's just learned habits and rituals. So when a person with FASD has an idea, or they see something that they want, or even begin a specific task, they may actually perseverate on it. Once the thought is in their mind, it's very difficult to shift that thought. Perseverative action is exacerbated by anxiety. Many children with FASD suffer from anxiety. There can be many environmental factors relating to this, such as domestic violence, family violence. But aside from these situations, anxiety can come from not knowing what is going to happen next, particularly when it relates to school. If a child with FASD is sent to the office to be punished for something that he has done, as we know, he can forget in an instant what he's done and why he is being punished. So if he's in the office being punished but is unsure why, then he can't change his behaviour, or so he doesn't get into trouble next time. Therefore, he is regularly in the office for the same thing. When you're not aware of the reasons you're being punished and not given the opportunity to make changes in the behaviour so you're not being punished, anxiety will follow. And so that's often the reason why our kids have anxiety in the first place. So sometimes a person with FASD just needs a prompt to get started on a task and they can complete it. But more often, they just don't know how to start, what to do now. They can't tell what's the most important thing, and they can't tell you what to do next, or even what a completed task might look like. This not only causes anxiety and problems within the home, but causes caregivers to become distressed and stressed unless we understand the reason for this behaviour. I always found stopping perseveration very difficult. Sometimes children can't stop unless they're actually told to stop. Some can't stop until the task is completed, which is where I usually ended up. The perseveration I experienced as the mother of a child with FASD was usually related to money, and it was far cheaper to hand out $10 or $20 at the time than it was to experience the continuous agitation, anger, whining, and sometimes holes in the wall, so I usually gave in. This was in fact allowing my son to complete the task that he was perseverating about, but probably not an ideal situation. Sometimes the item or activity that the child is perseverating about cannot be completed. So this is how how is the behaviour stopped when you don't have $10 or $20, which is the situation we're in now. It's not something that we can actually change, and there are many people who can't just hand out $10 or $20. So children with FASD will react very negatively to a no, or a don't, or a stop, but may respond to suggestions to do something else, or by taking their attention away from the task or the activity. Some may react negatively to any interruption and become trapped in rising emotion. Redirection is the most common strategy used to manage perseveration. However, adults should be careful when using redirection to an activity that is highly desired by the child. The individual may learn to use perseveration as a way to get that desired activity or item. Another option may be to draw their attention away from what they are doing. For example, this is a funny story, but it worked in that particular instance. When I was over in Canada, I heard about a mum using a particular method to get her son to stop perseverating in a shop. She yelled out, "Bear!" And we wouldn't probably do that, we'd probably yell out, "Croc!" Her son stopped what he was doing and came out to try and find the bear, and became so engrossed in being outside of the shop, he stopped the perseveration. This sort of thing may not be successful every time, and eventually a child may become inured to the shouts of, "I thought I saw a croc in the backyard, come and have a look." So perseveration is like having a single track mind. In some cases it can be used to advantage, to follow through on some task or ensure that something that has to be done is done. And sometimes it's some of the reasons that children with FASD find it difficult to move from one task to another and need that help to make that transition. You know, with a transition we can formulate some sort of method of letting them know that they're about to transition from one activity to another. For parents, teachers and caregivers of children with FASD, one of the most frustrating parts of dealing with perseveration is that children can get upset when asked to give that particular thing up, and then they can perseverate on being upset. So it really can be quite a difficult fine-tuning act to find what works for your child. Allowing them time to calm down without trying to make them calm down might see some good results. So next week, I've had a request to talk about sensory issues. If there's anybody who would like to hear about something in particular, please let me know. Hi Louise and Jeff, sorry I didn't realise that you were there. If anybody would like training on FASD, please give me a call. My number is 0412 550 540. Don't forget to press the subscribe button at the top of your phone, and I'll see you next week on Friday. Thank you very much.